Head movement now, we're going to work through the Mittmaster 8 slips or 8 head movement directions that I like to use. So, if Tommy's throwing straight punches at me, there's 8 positions I can put my head, and they have different follow-ups and counters based on where my head is. We're just going to look at the head movement first. In later videos, we'll get into the most efficient, most economical, and most direct counters. So the way you train it with your partner is Tommy puts out his jab. Cool. So I'm in front of his jab. So my first movement forward is 45 degrees to my right as I slip and I move up his arm, ideally getting at least to his elbow. So I slip and I go forwards 45 degrees, which may require me to move my lead foot, move my head offline, step in and slip. Same on the inside. So obviously moving to the inside is riskier. So I step my lead foot out, I slip. Now I want to go either underneath his arm when I slip this side. So when he throws the cross, it's likely to go over my head. What I don't want to do is go slip and stay here because I'm moving in. So I was always taught when you slip to the inside, either slip in deep so that he can't use that hand, or if you slip here, what I can then do is roll out to the opposite side as I throw a counter, because being on the inside is risky. So slip number 1 is to slip 45 degrees forward deep, and then slip number 2 is to slip 45 degrees to the other side deep as well, hands up, elbows down, keeping an eye on my partner. Slip number 3 is to slip to the right, so I just let it go over my shoulder. It's a lateral slip. And then slip number 4 is to slip the other side. So that's kind of like the classic Tyson peekaboo, where you're letting the punches slide over your shoulders rather than slipping forward. Each of these has a slightly different counter. Slip number 5 is to duck underneath the jab. If your partner's taller than you, ducking is a good option. Because if he's taller than me and the punch is coming to my head, all I need to do is bend my legs 6 inches, punch goes over my head. He's totally committed and all of this is open. Next slip is a shoulder roll, so I move away at 45 degrees. And I use my shoulder, so I'm slipping out of distance. And then I can slip to the opposite corner here. So I move my lead leg backwards and shoulder roll away. And the last one is a snap back. Now, if you're taller, the temptation when you snap back is to do this. Move your head back and leave your hands behind. That's when you get hit with overhands and kicks. So if you're taller, when you snap back, I just use my rear leg, I bounce back and then I'm back in front. I don't lean backwards, because when you lean, you need to counterbalance your lean. If I'm taking my head backwards, my arms kind of naturally stay to counterbalance me, which is dangerous. So instead, I use my rear foot. So let's look at all 8. Number 1. Slip forward 45. Number 2, slip forward 45. Number 3, slip to the right laterally. Number 4, slip to the left laterally. Number 5, duck underneath. Number 6, shoulder roll away to the rear. Number 7, shoulder roll away on the diagonal to the opposite side. And number 8 is to snap back. Those are the 8 slipping directions you can take when slipping a punch. So when you're teaching beginners, you teach them like that, arm out and they rip through. It doesn't matter if they have the jab out or the cross out, because the jab and the cross are essentially the same technique. I can slip inside this one, I can slip inside this one, I can slip left and right, I can go back, I can shoulder roll, and I can shoulder roll. And then once they got that, one partner's just going to jab slow. So I'll do it to Tommy. He's got his hands up, he's got his chin down. First one, he's going to slip to this corner. So in deep, yeah, good, keep balance. Left foot moves in, good. Now slip to this corner. Good, he's underneath, good. I could just go with the jab over and over. So I'm going to go jab, move this way. Deep, oh deep, so the first one's deep. Second one's deep, but look how he's underneath my cross as well. Third one, he's going to stay on the spot and just move his elbow to his hip and it goes over his shoulder. And the same one on the fourth one. Then he's going to duck straight down. It just goes over the head. Obviously when you duck, don't bring your head forward and down, because you're going to get kneed, etc. if you're doing MMA or Muay Thai. So when you duck, you just do a vertical drop like this. Your knees kind of pop and you just drop and then you're back up. So duck. Next one, shoulder roll away. So he moves towards the back wall, left arm comes across the body and he leans backwards, move your rear foot. Yeah, great. Cover your body, make this tight, no space. There we go. Good. Now, take your lead foot towards the tyre, shoulder roll, great. Arm across your body. Don't drop your arm down straight. So often see people slip like this. The problem with this is obviously your body's exposed, but the main problem is this elbow. If Tommy slips 45 like that and keeps it out and up, arm straight, and I kick that arm, that's a broken arm. Because his arm latches against his leg, he gets hit here and that's a broken arm. So tuck your arm, because then this is a point, go to the corner. So when I kick, that's a broken foot. So make everything pointy, point. Mayweather's a master of this, letting people walk into his elbow. He does it intentionally, but the idea is that they spear themselves on his elbow, stops them moving forward. Clever. Okay, and the last one is to snap back. So use your back foot, bounce it backwards, and then come back into range. Notice he didn't have to drop his hands. Now move your head back. See how naturally they drop away, don't they? Because you're like, so instead just bounce your foot back, it protects your face. All 8 again, please, Tommy. So I jab, he slips deep. Good. Other side, slip deep. Lovely. Lateral slip to the right, lateral slip to the left. Duck underneath. Shoulder roll away to the right. Good. Shoulder roll away to the left. Bend arm, back. Snap back using your foot. Cool. And then he would come 8 to me, and then we alternate. And then you build up over time. You give your partner 3 jabs, and they put any 3 of those together, and they give you 3 jabs, and you can build them to a nice drill of slipping. But that just teaches people where they can take their head against straight punches, and then later on we'll look at follow-ups and kicks off that as well.